Yeah. My face is on the walls of Osiris temple. Scribe rhymes on papyrus in the fifth dimension. Smoked the flower of life, had visions. A book fell from the sky. Inside, death was written. Burnt the candle, made some shit happen. Chaos magic, abracadabra, out comes the ratchet. Leave the scene in the puff of smoke. Drugs and guns tucked inside the villain's coat. Mask got me feeling like I'm in Meth Doom. My fortress is on the dark side of the moon. Netaru, Nibirian, Nephilim, Elohim, alien, bloodline, Atlantean. I control the elements, earth, water, wind, fire. The sun is where I built my empire. Nightmare. 33 stratagem, sad violin. Harm City kids study the books of Shaolin. Swords sound like wailing wind, seraphim. Fine jewels and linen, virtuous women. Hanging in the halls of Slytherin. My cup runneth over with enlightenment. Spray paint hieroglyphs in the temple of Solomon. Black Anunnaki tetragrammaton.
Yo, what's good? What's good? Music Talk Monday, back in here again. You know what I'm saying? Young Damo will not be here today for the simple fact is every other time he's not here, he's getting that bag. So at the end of the day, make sure y'all, you know what I'm saying, stream his project, Never Seen It Coming, on all available platforms. You heard? Yo, listen, we're going to jump into Kendrick and Drake real quick. Can't stop talking about it. Nobody else can stop talking about it. So we just going to keep talking about it, but I'm not going to give it that much shine. And I want to get into Prodigy's death, you know what I'm saying, and what he was dealing with before he died, you know what I'm saying. So RIP to the God, you know what I'm saying. Dang, we miss you, yo. You know what I mean? But he was putting some things out there, and you know, some people say that the way that he went out, you know what I'm saying, wasn't factual, put it like that. So yeah, I have some new information coming. That's my EP if you want to be not I couldn't even get that shit out. I'm so excited to say it. I got some new music coming out, right? And the information that's on there is, I'm not even gonna say what it's about, but nobody's saying what I'm saying. I tell you that much. Nobody's saying what I'm saying. That's guaranteed. And it's the fifth kind, you know what I'm saying, written and produced and all that good shit by myself on this one. You know what I mean? I don't really produce and make beats like that, but when I get a feeling to do something, then I do it. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know, just being creative and shit for real. But yeah, let me get into the show. I don't want to take up too much time. Hold up. Let me see. Yeah, we're going to get into this and shit for real. How Kendrick just sold out his entire tour and Drake lost it over this. Drake's always losing it, yo. That's just what it seems like. You know what I mean? But this is fantastic hip hop. Like, share, subscribe on their channel. Also, my channel, this channel. Shout out to all the villains. You know what I mean? Yo, let's go.
Now, for Drake, academics, and all of the losers around them who have been trying to push the narrative that Kendrick Lamar's hype is all faked and his tour is gonna flop. Well, for that clown show, it's all over, and no longer is the most desperate collection of people ever going to be able to get away with such major lies, because when it comes to Kendrick Lamar's upcoming Grand National Tour, well, for all 23 shows that Kendrick Lamar has on this opening leg of the tour, Kendrick is filling up every single building, and with this, from Drake's own city to his home, Kendrick is about to command live rapping and a hip-hop experience on a scale like no other artist has ever been able to. And now because of this, with Kendrick breaking even more records, Drake is really losing it. And now before we go any further into this and what all this means, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And so now with that said, when it comes to the Grand National Tour and Drake and Academics' lies never looking more laughable for even thinking of them. Well, now, as Rap's first stadium tour since Jay-Z or Eminem is about to happen, we have gotten official news of the status of how these shows are doing and specifically how many tickets Kendrick has been moving and filling up for what's about to come. And with what we have seen, I mean, if you were one of the people who thought that Kendrick was going to flop with this tour, or you thought he couldn't do these types of venues, you must be feeling embarrassed right now. Because with the 23 shows that Kendrick is doing on this first run, the tour's entire allotment of tickets has been 90% sold out, which in the music industry, anytime a tour is more than 90% filled at this point, they know that for the venues, the remaining tickets will end up filling out with people who decide to come near the last minute. And just breaking down how successful these shows are going to be even more, Kendrick is going to be having 49,000 people who will be attending each show on average. And once again, while Drake and all the low-ranking
So all I want to say is you can't lie, right? When you have this type of shit going on, the people going to speak, you know what I'm saying? So the numbers, as they say, don't lie. But at the same time, check the show out. You don't have to take what he's saying as truth. Just check the show out for real. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know why people give a shit so much, yo. Like, this is ridiculous. This is really ridiculous, but people got to cover it. You know what I mean? It's interesting for the most part because it's all a wild moment for me. I ain't never even think no shit like this would ever happen a day in the life of hip hop. I really didn't.
OVO affiliates will continue to try and act like this is a flop or somehow spin whatever narrative they can to try and discredit the current king of rap. Because as their own guy has given them nothing to root for, that's all they know how to do. Let's just remember that when it even comes to having this conversation that Kendrick is in right now, Drake or any other rapper ever for that matter cannot even get a seat at the table he's sitting at, unless, of course, we are talking about Jay or Eminem, who did co-headlining tours with people like Beyonce and Justin Timberlake, in Jay's case, and Rihanna with Eminem. And again, just to put into perspective how up Kendrick really is, even in the biggest places that Drake performed at during any of his most recent tours, which once again, when they try to say that this tour is only successful because of Sissa, because that's one of the only desperate ways they can even spin this whole thing left. Remember that Drake was co-headlining with everyone from Prime Future to the Migos to J. Cole to Lil Wayne to 21 Savage. Even with all this support, they were not even half of the size of the places that Kendrick Lamar is about to be performing in. And so with this, I mean, for all the ridiculous narratives and comments that all of OVO has been trying to get off about Kendrick and this entire tour, you can't keep it going. It's got to stop, because you can no longer say that all the success Kendrick is getting is faked when during some of the shows he is moving up to 50 and 60,000 tickets in a single night. And again, as Kendrick is just playing within a building that Drake has never been able to even get in, and if he tried to at this point, he would just be embarrassed. Altogether, if you even try and discredit this milestone, you are clearly showing that you are doing and saying anything to try and defend Drake, because if you really are trying to spin somebody selling out an entire stadium tour in a genre where only 2 other artists have done something close to this, and even in the greater sense in an industry right now where only a handful of artists are doing this as well, which when you break down the list of artists who have stadium tours currently, Kendrick is in a select group with a handful of artists industry-wide. And again, if you were trying to discredit somebody who is at this level, you just can't be taken seriously, especially when if we make Drake follow through with his words and remember that no matter how much he tries to hide this, he did cancel the remaining dates of his Anita Max tour, which tells us that Drake was struggling to fill up stadiums that are more than half the size smaller of most of the venues that Kendrick is going to. So again, when it comes to proving that you are a top-tier talent in music and also a top-tier performer, which Kendrick clearly has solidified that title with just how good and attention-demanding his halftime show was for those who didn't know already. Again, so clearly there are just levels to all of this, and when you see this group alongside Kendrick, which features such big names who are synonymous for being amazing performers, just don't even let Drake and OVO even try to have a say over what is the highest and most impressive level of performances that you can do. Because Drake can't even fill up arenas right now with big name artists, because that's how bad things have gone for him. But more importantly than this, and with Drake's failures and the real impact we are seeing from Kendrick here, more than ever and on the highest level of what shows success and impact possible, there is so clearly a tier and group that Drake will never be able to be in, because he is so bad as a performer and Kendrick is obviously so comfortably here now based on what we are seeing. And even though Drake has failed so much, I do wonder how him and his fans are going to try to spin Kendrick's success this time, even when they see how good of a turnout Kendrick has for these shows, because really, they won't be able to get these jokes off about Kendrick's numbers being fake more than they already can now. And I am sure with the way they are going to try and reach and call these things a failure.
Hold up, wait a minute. Drake has a cult following, so it's not like he's going to lose out. He just don't have the stats that he used to have. And that's part of the game, yo. You know what I mean? You got some niggas out here that used to be kingpins. There's a new one. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying.
It's really going to be the most desperate and funny thing you'll ever see in a way. Because with the clear success we are seeing from all of this, the only things they're going to be able to do is try and show the sections that are not even ticketed seats because the stage blocks them, and try to say that the venue is empty with those, because that's going to really be their only option with how amazing what Kendrick's numbers are showing us is. And really just wait and see how much these guys are going to be spiraling when Kendrick takes the road and delivers a set list and show, which, just like SZA has said herself, which again should just add even more excitement and hype to all of it, is going to be like the Super Bowl times 10. And from the hype that has never been higher to the fact that this is where Kendrick has now brought us, the more we can look into what Kendrick's tour numbers are looking like and break them down and compare them to everything else, not just in hip-hop, but industry-wide. Again, for touring and live music, Kendrick is just breaking down so many barriers with what we are seeing, just like we saw when he brought rap at the most authentic level it could ever be at the Super Bowl. And I mean, once again, when we see that Kendrick literally did have the biggest Super Bowl halftime show ever, no matter what Drake and his fans try to say about it, I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that the biggest artist in all of music, really since Like That came out, is able to do such amazing numbers. But while Drake fans try to continue and act like all of this is not the case and that Kendrick is this fake artist who is doing the worst things according to them, really, when you break it down, in actuality, this tour is one of the best things that has happened for hip-hop in so long. Because first off, before Kendrick came back out and started this era that we are in now, there was a thought and consensus that when it came to full-scale tours like this ever being possible for rappers to do, the Drake being out so much and doing the most lazy and boring joint tours like we saw he did with his most recent ones with 21 Savage, Lil Wayne, and J. Cole even, it was so obvious that this just was never going to happen, because with him at the forefront, rap within a live setting was just starting to seem more and more boring and dull in the first place, which made people start to think that after names like J and M brought it further than ever, that it was only going to go backwards from this point on. And so with this and what Kendrick Lamar being at the center of this tour exactly means, this is one of the best things we have seen in the industry in quite some time, because we have never seen a series of shows exactly like this. And what I mean by that is that all of the artists have so much synergy and all come from the same place in music, whether that's from TDE with Kendrick and SZA, or where they are from with Kendrick Lamar and now the opening DJ and Mustard. And what this is showcasing to the industry is how hip-hop can stay and maintain these types of runs with top names going forward, because with this trio of Kendrick, SZA, and Mustard, and again, of course, the success which is now there, we are seeing that you can put together a group of artists who naturally fit well together, because even beyond having similar audiences, they have worked together and been a part of the same things for so long. And as a result of all of this, the importance of labels and collectives in hip-hop and also storytelling in the entire music industry has went up a lot in terms of creating and having a roster of artists who you are directly affiliated with, and ultimately that you can come together with to make something that represents something way bigger than yourself. And with what Kendrick is now setting forward in terms of having this curated experience that will offer everything you could ever want to see from him, SZA, TDE, and the West Coast, I mean, we are already seeing somewhat of the impact of this with The Weeknd's upcoming tour, which is using the same winning strategy as it is him, Playboi Carti, and Mike Dean as the trio, which really does feel like that circle's version of what Kendrick is doing here exactly. As of course, The Weeknd, Carti, and Mike Dean have been working so closely together on all of their recent projects. And I think with this entire strategy for taking rap to stadiums being seen mainly from Kendrick as the headliner, but now also with Carti as an opener, which with that is showing how dynamic hip-hop can also be in terms of being a part of a bigger lineup and curated experience. When it comes to now other rappers in the entire industry, just seeing how amazing and rewarding what Kendrick, TDE, and everybody a part of the Grand National Tour is going to be doing. Because again, touring in these stadiums is the pinnacle really of what you can do with your career. I am sure there is going to be a lot of other crews who are going to try and do this same exact thing and put the work in to get there. And realistically, I think we will see the immediate impact and influence of this tour with another superstar in hip-hop, as after already playing MetLife and SoFi stadiums during his Circus Maximus tour, Travis Scott is really next in line to do something like this, and he has the perfect second and third acts to come with him, with both his own artists in Don Toliver and Sheck West. And I mean, from there, if hip-hop stadium tours can become a regular thing, whether Tyler the Creator can get Frank Ocean to go on the road one more time, Eminem can maybe get together a group of Snoop, 50, and Dre for another tour, and who knows what other rappers and artists this may bring out entirely. Altogether, just like when rappers like Eminem and Jay-Z led forward rap entering arenas for the first time and showed that hip-hop could work in that setting when nobody believed it could. I think with what Kendrick is doing, how Cardi is kind of following them already, and with how many other rappers already want to reach this level, which is something that Travis Scott has already expressed, I think with the numbers Kendrick is doing and with the results we will definitely see, this tour is not just going to prove Kendrick Lamar to be one of the greatest performers out, but it is going to open up opportunities that no other rapper ever had. And when it comes to this conversation we have about the culture of hip-hop and what you do for it, and again, as Drake is trying to take away the ability for rappers to say what they want to on songs with what he is trying to say, not like Us did to his career, and then on the other side of this, you see Kendrick Lamar showing that rap can be at the Super Bowl, that you can make one of the biggest songs ever while making it a super lyrical track with 3 verses. Now we are seeing him set forward that hip-hop can be played and be just as successful as any other genre in stadiums. Once again, Kendrick is showing how he is making the genre better off than he left it, and this just adds to the list of so many reasons why he is the best leader rap music can have right now. And so no matter what at this and no matter how Drake and OVO lose it, as Kendrick comes closer and closer to getting so many more wins once again, Kendrick Lamar really is the undisputed king of hip-hop, and as we see him define this era that he is running circles around everybody with an entire tour that is about to be like nothing else we have ever seen, well, we're really about to see even more greatness than we have ever, and at that, in the most important way, in terms of all of this now happening within a live performance that we can all witness. And so now with all that said, let me know, what do you think about what Kendrick Lamar and the Grand National Tour has shown just in terms of the success we are seeing with the tickets? And how do you think these shows are going to be? And what do you think is going to happen with everything around this tour? Now,
Yo. Academics. I'm just saying, bro. Give it up, bro. You don't have to keep trying to go there, bro. Y'all need to cut it out. I mean, it is what it is. This man doing this thing, you know what I'm saying? So can he live, yo? You know what I mean? Breathe, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, God damn, let this man do what he has to do. You know what I'm saying? He out here living his best life, yo. Salute to Kendrick Lamar. You know what I mean? Everybody that's supporting him. That's the way it works, yo. All the haters, you know what I'm saying? You know, keep hating, do what you do. You ain't nothing but fuel. You coal that get burnt, you know what I mean? You a source of your resource, you know what I mean? You get burnt like coal in the fire to provide power, you know what I mean? He going full steam for real. Yo, this is crazy, man. Oh man, hold up, wait a minute. Now I want to get into Prodigy. Bam. Hold up. All right. Yo, what really happened to Prodigy, right? Fan want answers, right? Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe on Big Kiss, yo. You know what I mean? He has some good information. I rock with his channel. But like, share, subscribe on this channel too. Shout out to all the villains, yo. You know what I'm saying? All the real spitters. You know what I'm saying? All the people that hold the pen, that write their own shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how that works, yo. We get ready to jump into this.
Yo, Big Kiss back up in here, man. I'm scrolling online and they said Prodigy, the one half of Mobb Deep, had choked on an egg. I don't remember hearing that one right there, y'all. This don't sit well with me. I don't remember hearing this one. I thought he passed from the sickle cell anemia joint. I don't remember choking on no egg. I don't remember him choking on no egg. I don't remember that. Somebody please correct me, man. Somebody please let me know. Do y'all remember something like this? Choking on an egg? I'm going to leave a link in the description. We about to get into the video. Y'all know I'm like holding.
Yeah, They did say that though. You know what I mean? They said homie choked off an egg. And I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Believe it or not believe it or not, you know what I mean? Like, I don't believe that, you know what I'm saying? So,
Y'all, without further ado, let's get it.
You know what I mean? I believe definitely maybe some of these label heads, like major labels and like major corporate companies, might have something to do with it, and they, you know, might be involved with the agenda.
To say the least. According to the Clark County Medical Examiner, Prodigy, one half of Mobb Deep, choked on an egg while at the hospital getting
Egg? What?
treated for a flare.
And now, like I talked to Noriega this morning, he was like, okay, I realized
Oh, I definitely don't want to hear from him. I definitely don't want to hear from him.
this. I realized that I really don't feel Prodigy from choking on an egg.
Jay-Z ain't had to say when it was on, and he was getting dissed. Him and Nas. Mobb Deep and Biggie were the only ones from New York active in that situation. So Jay-Z is a bitch for making that quote in his lyrics.
Oh. Oh. Why she throwing up all them signs? She ain't no gangbanger. Why she throwing up all them signs?
Prodigy of Mobb Deep wasn't just a rap legend. He was also
Prodigy was calling out all of them. Just like Pimp C. Calling out all of them.
so let me explain real quick. When you get knowledge yourself, right? You get certain type of information that open you up and you get to know things, right? And when Prodigy got awareness, when the information, you know what I mean, took hold, he saw what was going on in the industry. And because he studied what he studied, he was in a position where he couldn't conceal that truth. He had to let people know what's really good with the industry. So he putting it out there, right? Now he started to know or notice, allegedly, that certain individuals inside of the industry were participating in these things, right? Rituals, you know what I'm saying, so forth and so on, allegedly, right? And at the end of the day, you know, when you spill information, it's a situation where, you know, see, people look at the truth like it's going to set you free, right? But see, when you tell the truth, what you do is you kind of push people away because people like a lie. People love listening to lies and they love living a lie because the truth is discipline. Truth shows how undisciplined a person or people are. So a disciplined person around undisciplined people, that's dangerous. You automatically become an outcast. Automatically. So he made himself an outcast.
also one of the most outspoken and controversial figures when it came to exposing the dark side of the music industry, and many fans believe this cost him his life. See, the comment Prodigy made in his final interview and also the tweets he shared in the months leading up to his bizarre death raised more questions than answers. And the reason I'm calling it a bizarre death is because Prodigy passed when he choked on an egg while in the hospital. Well,
I don't remember hearing that. I don't remember hearing that one, y'all.
At least that's the official story. But most fans
listen, choked on an egg in the hospital.
Never bought this version of events, especially after they started digging deeper into Prodigy's comments about the Illuminati and the people who control the music industry. Before he passed, Prodigy was dropping bombs on social media, speaking out against the system. And he even went so far as to suggest that some of the biggest names in hip-hop, yes, including Jay-Z, were involved in a secret society where their role is to push a certain agenda to the...
Now listen, y'all saw the last episode that I dropped, right? The last joint, right? I pointed out symbolism. That's what I do. I look at these shits and I see what the individuals are doing, and I notice things that the average person wouldn't, and I bring it to light, right? My music does that. I push it out there, I bring it to light, I drop a whole lot of Easter eggs. This EP that I'm getting ready to drop, fuck it, I ain't even gonna say that. But listen, Prodigy was putting people out there. He was putting the industry out there, right? So, like I said, when it comes to telling the truth, it's a dangerous thing. I was taught that. Shout out to Desert Ease. I used to run around like, yo, the truth, the truth, the truth. Then when you look at people's reaction to the truth, it's a different story, especially when they've been lied to for so long. They rather just live the lie because their life in their mind is normal. So therefore, the lie is more powerful than the truth in this realm that we live in, right? So I'm just saying, in this reality, a lie is what is what's saying the most inspired to deal with. A lie. Everything is smoke and mirrors for the most part. A lot of the shit that y'all like, that you see, is not real. You know what I mean? It's not. And then you have people that will look at these things and try to live vicariously through them. And then what happens is they start to manifest that in their natural, everyday, normal life, right? So then the life becomes abnormal because they want to feed the lower self, the low desire. They like being undisciplined, and they ready to deal with the drama that comes with being undisciplined.
Public, but that's not all. Prodigy also hinted at
secret society trying to keep their eye on me.
Something even more sinister, claiming there were disturbing organized crimes happening within the entertainment world, targeting the most innocent. So what's the real story behind Prodigy's passing? Was he a victim of those same people he was exposing? And what exactly did he reveal in his final interview? Let's break it down.
I still had no fear in my heart, about speaking my mind and letting people know what time it is. There's no reason for me to fear, because it's really nothing. There's nothing they can do besides and I'm not afraid of that. Doing all this ritualistic and rituals on little, they doing their little kids.
Oh, he was exposing them. I'm telling you, everybody that's out there exposing, they try to get rid of them. Everybody trying to get, they try to get rid of them. Y'all remember when that there was somebody who texted Kanye West. He was like, all right, you keep it up. I'm gonna put you back on that medication or something like that. I forgot how the message went.
Damn. Once again, I'm trying to show y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, the mainstream is not where you want to be, but yet and still, y'all still running towards it. I don't understand that shit. The industry is not what you think it is. And independence is something that at this point in time just seems to be, it should just be a normal thing. You can kind of self-govern your music career. You can develop your own situation and get your own fan base through the help of social media. So you really don't need a big machine to do anything for you. You can do this shit yourself, for real. But I'm just saying, the people that are in the industry is not like people are making it up. It's not like it all happened one year and everybody just said it that one year. Now nobody has said it or whatever. It's every day. It's every day. This shit been happening since Michael Jackson, for real. So, I mean, at the end of the and before. So you still want, I guess you think you different. Y'all think y'all different. Oh, that ain't gonna happen to us or what have you. Yeah, okay. Money make people do strange things, you know what I'm saying? And it ain't money fault. It's the person. Like I said, it's the undisciplined people, yo.
Doing satanic rituals, like this stuff is really going on in this world. Like, you know what I mean? You got sick people like Jeffrey Dahmer and different people like that. And I believe that it was a different background to it, or why
what he was doing. I think it was some ritualistic things going on.
Absolutely. They said
Back in 2007.
Oh, he talking to Alex Jones. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ain't no egg, bro. Can't be. Can't egg. Come on, bro.
And while Prodigy was still behind bars doing a 3.5-year bid for possession, he shook things up in a major way. Right before dropping HNIC Part 2, he put out an open letter aimed at Jay-Z and made some cryptic but heavy accusations, hinting that Jay might be connected to a secret society, feeding into the whole Illuminati theory. In fact, many believe Prodigy was the one who really put hip-hop into the whole Illuminati conversation, and he actually started speaking on it way back in the 90s when most people had never even heard the word Illuminati in connection to rap music.
Nah, look, check this out. Go back and listen to Onyx too. Onyx started to get up on it too. Yup. Onyx see when people was getting locked up, they get enlightened when they go.
Hold up, but Pac was on it. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. It's not nothing new. This isn't nothing new. It's been going on. So as people keep telling you that it's messed up, then why would you want to keep pursuing it? That just goes to show you how undisciplined people are.
Go in jail. You know what I'm saying? Because when you in jail, they get to reading them books. They try to keep these type of books away from us.
Prodigy had been dropping bars about the Illuminati way before most rappers even knew what it was. Back in 1995, on LL Cool J's I Shot You remix, he rapped, Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body. Secret society trying to keep their eye on me. But I'ma stay incognito in places they can't find me. Make my moves strategically on the GOD. Fast forward to 2008, and he took things to a whole new level with his track Illuminati, where he spits, this is not a theory, the conspiracy is real. They want to put me in a straitjacket in a padded room and tell the world there's 12 monkeys so they can be confused. Prodigy made it clear that in his eyes, the industry wasn't just about music. It was about power, control, and forces moving behind the scenes. And he stayed on that wave all the way up to his final album, Hegelian Dialectic, the Book of Revelation, which dropped on January 20th, 2017, exactly 5 months before his mysterious death on June 20th.
Oh, see how close that was?
The Hegelian dialect. Research that. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. It's not just a title. Research it.
He was waking people up. People was getting with it. It was like, oh, nah, everybody paying attention to him. Nah, we got to do something about this. Egg? I don't remember hearing that. I never heard that one right there.
Now, I'm going to break down the strange circumstances around his passing in a second. But first, let's talk about that open letter Prodigy wrote from prison where he called out Jay-Z for being part of the Illuminati. In that letter, Prodigy laid everything out, how he experienced an awakening in 1996 and realized it's all a sham. He exposed what he believed was a deeper system at play, not just in music, but in government, religion, and society as a whole. Prodigy wrote, the government, religions, politics, the Federal Reserve, IRS, and everything we believe and live by is a joke. And then he went straight at Jay-Z and claimed that Hov was in the know, but chose to keep quiet and play the game. Jay-Z knows the truth, but he chose sides with evil in order to be accepted in the corporate. Prodigy wrote, Jay-Z conceals the truth from the Black community and the world and promotes the lifestyle of the beast instead. But
Damn, what do this sound like if you bring it up to date in 2025?
Yo, hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Once again, that's a person that's coming from a real hip hop person, a real person in the culture, a person that helped the culture expand. He added on, him and Havoc and the rest of QB. At the end of the day, you heard what he said. Music you can learn from. That's why I said look up Hegelian dialect. He teaching. This is what hip hop does. I said it's an information movement, not this. I mean, everything has its place, so I don't want to be like stingy, songy, dancey shit. I don't want to sound like that. But for the most part, that's not what hip hop is as a totality. It's a part of it. And hip hop has many different pieces. many different working movable pieces. You're learning right now what hip hop does, and you see who's paying the penalty for it because of what he's saying. But hip hop has always brought some type of enlightenment. The first song, Broken Glass Everywhere, that was letting you know what was going on at that time frame. So, you know, y'all have to understand that it's more to this shit than what Drake does. That's why DMX didn't accept Drake. I'm just keeping it real. I'm telling the truth that you don't like because you rather live the lie. I mean, I'm just being real. Villain in the fucking building, yo.
What do this sound like, y'all? What situation do this sound like? Somebody representing the beast. This sound like Drake. This sound like Drake. He's continuing to represent the beast. This is what this sound like.
P didn't stop there. He also promised to keep exposing the truth until they took him out.
All that, that's a hip hop wall right there. You see all that hip hop on that wall? That's a hip hop wall. That's a hip hop wall. That's a bathroom of a underground joint right there. You see all that hip hop on that wall?
He also promised to keep exposing the truth until they took him out, and said he would relentlessly attack Jay-Z, Illuminati, and any and every other evil that exists until my lights are put out. He also added, I fear nothing and no one. I'm fearless because the truth has set me free from the Illuminati mental enslavement, and I have been empowered by God and universe. Now, to be fair, Prodigy did later clear the air and say he didn't actually believe Jay-Z was part of the Illuminati, but he never backed down on the idea that the Illuminati is very real.
I read some of your letters, man, because, you know, a lot of them hit the internet, man. One of the things you were talking about a lot while you were in prison.
Yeah, I remember when Jay-Z said
a lot of the conspiracy theory stuff, Illuminati stuff. Do you still believe that?
Yeah.
First of all, a lot of people, there's a lot of talk of Illuminati, that there's certain rappers in the Illuminati, you know, Jay-Z, Kanye, and so. Do you believe that they're rappers in the Illuminati?
Nah.
You don't believe that? Okay. So how do you see
he's saying that because it's like levels to it. Jay-Z and people like Kanye West, they not writing no $1 billion checks.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. The people that are in the Illuminati are the top, right? You can't get in the Illuminati. You can work for them, but you can't get in there. So they're not in the you know what I'm saying? They're not the Illuminati. They just have certain type of let's just say, I'm not even gonna say they, I'm gonna say all this alleged, but you get perks when you go through certain levels, as he's saying, you know what I mean?
They not writing no billion. You see how it's crazy? Hey, it's a worldwide, oh, they billionaires, It's people that's been billionaires long time ago. We just start getting black billionaires just a couple years ago. Like, this just start happening. Now some thing, oh, yeah, he's a billionaire. She's a bit, they putting it on everybody. Yeah, oh, he's a billionaire. They putting it on everybody, man. Soulja Boy's a billionaire.
And listen, let me explain this about being a billionaire. It's the same thing as being a millionaire. A millionaire used to mean something, right? Being a millionaire used to mean something. It still does, don't get me wrong. But now the talk is billions. A lot of people have millions, whether it's 1 million, 2 million, 2.3 million, 3.5 million, they got millions. But now the billionaires coming in. So a lot of people are becoming billionaires. That means that there's more money somewhere else that the billionaires don't have. Think about that.
Bow Wow's a billionaire. Everybody's a billionaire. It's like this, in the past couple years, everybody's a billionaire. Man, these people been billionaires, man. Billionaire. He's a billionaire. Man, these people got the billion, like got the money, like got it. Ain't no assets or nothing. They got the assets and the money.
Sort of the role that these conspiracy theories play. Like how is the black community being controlled through that stuff?
Just through food, you know, the environment, you know, medication, you know, branding. It's a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot of, you can go down the whole line. It's a whole web network of things. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's
yeah.
what I believe.
Y'all look up this book, Outwitting the Devil. Outwitting the Devil. It shows you how they use things like religion. They use things like food. They use the messed up education system. They use a lot of things that they use to get to you. That's why you got to break free from it.
See, listen, once again, I talk about all this, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I might go and make like a little PowerPoint inside of, you know, the episode or what have you. But this the thing. Y'all have to understand that there is a sense of control that has to be administered by these top people, right? So all this is alleged by these top people, right? So when you think about how everything moves and you know how some people just never reach a certain level of money, you know what I mean, economy real low in certain areas, and then let's just say you grew up there all your life, but then when you leave from there and then you come back, it's still the same way, but other people are flourishing and you ride past these big ass mansions and things of that nature. That shows there is a system in place. It's a system because life is forever evolving and ever changing. So if you have something that seems to be suppressed, right? It can't move. It's kept in a certain area or what have you. It can't expand. It's a system involved. It's a plan.
You know what I'm saying? You got to break away free. Separate yourselves and be ye separate. That's what the scriptures say.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. People are definitely being manipulated. You know what I mean? It's a business.
And what can you do as an artist? What can we do as media to change that?
We can
work on yourself.
You know, just be rebellious and speak about it.
Yeah,
say something.
All right, now let's get
work on yourself. That's the only way you can fight it. You born alone, you're gonna die alone. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, working on yourself, but you gotta work on yourself in order to help others. And you have to be, you know, the picture of change. You have to be the image and likeness of change. You have to be, you know, the truth. You have to be what you're talking in physical form. Other than that, it doesn't work. Once again, like I said, this takes discipline, right? So you have to eat a certain way. You have to exercise. You have to live a certain way. It's a lot of things that you have to do in order to avoid these certain things that Prodigy has been telling us on his music. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of information in music, a lot of Easter eggs.
Work on yourself. Because ain't nobody going to be beside you when it's time to, you know what I'm saying, when it's time to get judged. Ain't nobody going to be beside you. Work on yourself. Then go out and speak, you know, what you've been through and all of that and try to encourage others.
Get into the real combo, Prodigy's death. This one still has hip-hop heads deep in speculation because a lot of fans believe it wasn't just some tragic accident. Because when you've been exposing the industry's puppet masters and calling out the celebs who play by their rules, things tend to get dangerous. See, Prodigy wasn't just casually name-dropping the Illuminati for shock value. He was out here pulling back the curtain on what he believed were hidden forces running the game. And with him making that much noise, some people think his passing might not have been so random. So Prodigy had been battling sickle cell disease for years. And at first, everyone assumed complications from that were the cause of his death. But when the official coroner's report dropped, it had nothing to do with sickle cell. Instead, they claimed Prodigy accidentally choked on a boiled egg while
boiled egg. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on.
While he was in the hospital. The whole choked on a boiled egg story had everybody scratching their heads. But then things took an even wilder turn. Prodigy's family wasn't buying it and took the fight to court. They filed a lawsuit against Spring Valley Medical Center in Vegas, claiming the hospital failed him. According to the lawsuit, the staff...
Come on, man. Y'all know we split those eggs before we even... Ain't nobody gonna put no whole egg in their mouth, man. We don't do that. We split the egg, then put salt and pepper on it, put your seasoning salt. You know how the deviled eggs go, man. We don't do that. Put a whole egg in. Come on, who does that? Who does that? Don't nobody do that. Get out of here.
Staff didn't keep his IV running properly and didn't monitor his oxygen levels like they were supposed to, even after doctors gave clear orders. And this is when the streets really started talking. Was this just medical negligence, or was there something deeper at play? Could it be that Prodigy's death wasn't just some freak accident, but something more? With the lawsuit, the hospital's alleged failures, and all that Illuminati talk surrounding him, fans can't help but question
that they don't want you speaking the words. It's all about the words. The words are spirit. The words are spirit. In the beginning, there was what? The word. Words. That's why I reincarnated. Kendra was like, I never take these words for granted. I'm always speak these words.
I'm just saying, was the word first or was it the thought, then the word? I'm just saying.
It's the words. That's why y'all remember what was
the words do have power, right? But they came from a source.
Dude name. What's his name? Nims or Mims? He said, I could sell 1 million saying nothing on the track. Then people got mad at him. It's like, nah, we got to keep these words on here. It's the words. You got to keep, it's the words. They don't want you speaking the words on these songs. That's why they like people like that be mumbling all on the song and all that.
That's why you had groups like Public Enemy, right? X-Clan, Wu-Tang, right? Dropping Jewels, Brand Nubians. You had these people out here actually really putting out, actually really putting out information, yo. I mean, I can't even be no more plainer. Information is inside of hip hop, like it's always been. KRS-One, when he dropped the song "Why Is That," and he was explaining, he broke down parts of the Bible. Poor righteous teachers. So I'm just saying, like, all this other nonsense that's going on, like I said, everything has a place, but it's not the totality of hip hop. It's not.
They ain't saying nothing. That ain't gonna rise nobody up. That's gonna keep people dumb. It's the words they want to get rid of. True be told, I ain't gonna get that deep. I ain't gonna get that deep. But really, people don't. You don't. Man, I ain't even gonna say it. I ain't even gonna get that deep. But yeah, man. Once you elevate and get spiritual, you don't be afraid of death, because you.
Boy, I can't wait till my EP drop, but I'm not gonna say what it's about.
Connected.
Shout out to Balti Mega, Singar Superior, BMG. You know what I'm saying, yo.
With that spirit, you know, the spirit can't nobody.
Wu-Tang Management, Taylor B TV.
Destroy the spirit, but God.
Born Divine Chamber. You know what I'm saying?
That's why he became so enlightened. He like, oh, I don't fear no death. That's just the flesh. That's just the body. Once I go, then thousands of more gonna get woken up, and they gonna start speaking those words. That's how it works. Once you get rid of one, thousands wake up, because you still laid the foundation. They still could go back to your words. Prodigy got books. He got albums people still listening to. All of those words, indestructible.
I'm gonna leave it right there. That's the power of hip hop, baby. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. That's the power of hip hop, yo. You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to understand that the mainstream shit that you be watching isn't real. It's all smoke and mirror, for real, for real. That's what it is. It's all smoke and mirrors. You know what I mean? It's all smoke and mirrors. Hollywood. Magic wands are made out of the Hollywood tree. So I ain't even gonna get no deeper on that. I'm get Ray B out, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Devil, stop breathing.
Yeah.